Alrighty. So, doing a little bit of a unplanned last minute stream. Just making a push to get Nagash done. Is my bitrate terrible? What's going on? Very bad. Well, might have a little bit of technical difficulties just to start. Let's see how we go. Hey, Combat Wombats. What's going on? Looking sick? Ah, it looks like we've smoothed that now. Lost music, lost everything. That's what I get for last minute going live. Good thing you got notifications on. Almost ruined your stream streak. Yeah, man. Just gonna make a push with the resin. Try and get one pour down tonight because I'd like it to be completely cured. 7 stream streak. Nice, nice. Yeah, I'd like it to be completely cured before I glue Nagash down, just in case the super glue reacts with the resin, strangely. So even after curing under the bed, I'm going to leave it out in the sun for half a day or so. Well, not directly in the sun, just in the living room with sun through the window. And yeah, probably come back tomorrow and get Nagash glued down. So another extra stream, a Saturday stream. Get Nagash glued down and then actually get him set into the resin, allowing me to really focus on the Sunday sesh on the boy himself. Because we have left still the head, which I know I'm going to put a lot of time into. I think that needs a full Sunday sesh, like 8 hours to get done. But I still got to do the staff. So the staff is going to be either tomorrow with a combination of the final resin, getting some of the staff done. The staff might get finished on Monday, mini Monday, but I want Sunday to be the head, and hopefully the staff is already done. We get it done tomorrow, and it's finale. But we'll see how we go. At least by getting resin started tonight and tomorrow, we give ourselves a better chance of getting done this weekend. I'd like to get done this weekend, but we know how this project goes, so we'll see how we go. Let's get into our first resin pour on the main base. So what I'm going to do differently here is on the experiments, I've ended up dripping over in a few locations over to the edge, and I've scraped that up, and I could rim this base black and it'd look okay. But I'm just going to tape off this rim so that if anything goes over, it's easier to clean up. Then when we get into the resin, I'll set up the camera a little bit closer down to the pallet pad there. I had hoped to be on earlier tonight, but work ran late and I was pretty tired. Had to get my head in the right space to get started. So here we are. Hopefully I'm not too tired to be doing the big resin pull. Hopefully this all goes well and it's not a mistake. But by doing it tonight, I give myself extra time for things to go wrong. That's the logic anyway. On the final leg, yeah man, I really hope so. I've loved this project, but we're reaching that time. Gotta start a new chapter. Huh. I kind of like the blue rim. Huh. Maybe we paint the rim purple to match Nagash instead of boring black rims. Tape hammer. Hell yeah. Alrighty. So, curing. Made some upgrades. Ready for this. Number one, the curing station. On a tripod, flicks in and out. So, I don't need to worry so much about moving the base. I can just flick the curing station over. Number two, cheapy hardware store Bunning special UV torch. This thing is actually shockingly good. And then a friend hooked me up with some dental or orthodontic curing torches. These guys are stupidly powerful, but the wavelength isn't quite right for the resin that we're using. So it doesn't actually cure it hard, but it will help to cure. And because we've got these... My brain's... Oh, I'm so tired. Brain's going blank. What is this stuff? Fiber optic lenses that go on. They will help with the problem I was having on Monday of being able to get in and underneath the model. So they actually won't cure hard. I'm still going to have to use the other two lights to set up, but they do help to cure. They're kind of not quite right. Like I've got a little sample of the dental resin and they cure that instantly, but not the UV resin working here. To give you an idea, and it's got a little sun visor on it because these things are silly. Let's flick the lights off. That's the dental. But even the Bunning special is pretty good. And it does cure really well. that said, I've just got to be brave and we jump into it. I should also mention I stuck down a few tufts on the base in the past week. Don't like the way they look. I actually prefer just this dead look. Heading off to bed. No worries, dude. Thanks for checking in. Appreciate you. Catch you soon. I did also experiment with tufts and how they behave in the resin, which is fine. I just didn't like the vibe on the base. Yeah, thanks for keeping your street combat wombats. It's awesome. Dropping in. Have a good night, huh? Alrighty. I'm gonna push this chem in as we get into the resin. Come out. Just a tad. This will do us. Alrighty, let's get into it. Also picked up a little bit better resin than what we've been using. This is what I've been avoiding for weeks. Torch is ready. The lights are ready. Let's do it. God, it's a big base. It's gonna soak up so much. I'm gonna start to spread because we don't want it too thick on the first cure. Alright, alright. If I pull this off, it's gonna be pretty sweet. Starting to see it take shape. What do I use to spread? Use a toothpick or broken brush end. Yeah, this is an old shade brush, a very crusty old shade brush, and the end of it was cured in resin weeks ago, so it's almost like a texture tool at this point from Citadel. It's basically a hard spade. I do have some toothpicks off to the side, and they may prove useful for getting in around the details. Anyway, welcome in, Dr. Merlickstein. Good to see you, man. Let's go Nagash base. Yeah, dude, we're finally committing. Alright, I can start to lay a little more in places. Just have to be careful that I don't just overdo it and drip the edges as I get closer to the edges. I have just grabbed one of those toothpicks. I may need it to get in underneath the crypt guard boy there. We'll see how we go. I've had moments wondering if UV resin was the right choice, or if I should commit to a normal two-part resin pool. But it is nice right now, spreading without any real concern about cure time. We can just keep working on this until we turn the lights on. There was just a little tunnel under the crypt guard's head there. I've had resin working in from either side and it just bridged. So that's good. No spillage issues. Not so far. We have just taped off the edges in case to make cleanup a little bit less of an issue. But we'll see as I get more and more resin on the space and in consecutive layers as that dome becomes more like high pitched at the edges. We'll see if that causes runoff with the much higher quantity of resin. Huh, I put gloves there. I did not put the gloves on. After the skewer, we'll put gloves on. We'll be good. So I've got full coverage now. I can see high and low points. So I've just added a bit more resin in some of those low points. And then the risky, they're gonna tap the whole base to try and get everything to level out. Oh, when did that happen? Altmate's sword has snapped in half. I guess. Oh, it's up here. That'll get glued back after the resin's cured. Oh. Alrighty. Sticking the gloves on, because this is the point where I risk spilling. Yo, that's not right. Yeah, that's where my thumb's supposed to be. Fingers crossed. I think I crossed my thumbs just now. So I'm holding from this side where it's safe, and I'm just tapping underneath. My lord, is that a brush bristle floating? It's gone there. That's interesting. Things actually float in it. A little ripple. Okay, we did spill. So the roll isn't good. The tap was working fine. Right. I can see some inconsistencies on the edges. And what I've learned with the previous pours is that the very first edge has to be perfect. Hit the air bubbles with the torch. One more edge. Alright, we're gonna send it. This is it. And then it's gonna be hard. Well, you're not gonna see with that curing station, but this is the important phase. I'm also gonna poke around with the probe underneath the models that are on the base. So we'll do 90-second sessions under the station, show what it's looking like, and then do another run, another pass. Oh, I can already see an issue. Some separation around the edges of the models. That's... oh god. Oh, what's happening? What is that? Okay. Here, here. That's part of it now. It's like there's a full air pocket spreading underneath them. This has not happened on any of the experiments, so I don't know what to do. It's not a fix-up I've had to do. This is half cured. I'm gonna try and stick the brush in the half cured resin. No, it's cured. Okay. Top layer is cured. With big fucking bubbles underneath. Hey, hero fantasist. What's going on? Welcome in. We're doing that big risky first resin pull. And I think feeling this, what's different is the amount of resin and thermals. Now I'm guessing that my top layer is cured and underneath isn't, and that the rest of the base may do what just happened around the models if we keep curing. All I can do is try. Actually, around the model that I was curing, it didn't happen. So maybe it is more poorly cured underneath the bits. Interesting base. Thank you, thank you. Oh, we hope it goes well. We're gonna find out. Actually, some of these locations are what's gonna be covered by Nagash. This could be okay. Or I could be getting a new base. We'll see. Nothing's happening. So there's different pockets underneath. Is this for Dread? This is for Nagash, which I've been working on a few weeks. I think this resin is eating the glove. I don't know, I could feel it. Alright, with that, clean one. The base is for Nagash. Don't have the best camera zoom to show him off at the minute. The idea was supposed to be like an underwater dead marsh. I've done weeks of experiments. And not had the issue that's just happened. Only shows up on the main base. So I don't know how to solve it. Beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's hard. Let's run a couple more sets of curing. See if that same thing keeps happening all over. And maybe I've just cured the top layer. And there's uncured resin below. So let's just be patient. Probably not great for pacing of stream because we're going to sit and chat for a minute. But yeah, all I can do is be patient at this point and see what happens. Risking a drill in and filling. Yeah, that I was just thinking about drilling. Let's keep curing for a while and just see what changes. Because if that spreads and it spreads all over, then it just means the bits that don't look like they've got pockets are uncured. I've got 18 more seconds before we take another look. At least this stream you can see the counter, just doesn't, it's a bit flickery. Okay, that's spread. That's definitely spread out along here. I think we keep going. And there's heat in the base again, which says to me we're not finished curing if it's going to keep heating. Running all the lights in there. Yeah. We haven't glued in the gash down. If this goes to hell, we just pivot and do a different base. If this happened tomorrow, when the gash was glued down, then I'd be really upset. I've still got heat, so we're still curing. Spread, but not as rapidly. How bad does it look though? Or are we just creating ripples in the stream? Let's riding close to the edge. Try that idea of just popping a drill in it. So, because that pocket meets the edge here, I'm just gonna go there. It's cured, it's hard. And it is, it's an air pocket. Man. Okay. It's just an air pocket. Yep. Don't know what to do then. Let's pour some resin down the hole I've drilled. See if it will flow. That's very slowly sinking in. Okay. Not much left to lose. Let's drill a bunch of holes. Yep. It's definitely a big old pocket. I might have to cure that bit that I just poured so that I don't get the drill filings into anything I do new into that wet resin. Can we bring it back? And if I pivot to a different base, how do we base in the gash? Let's run it up. Just drilling plenty of little micro holes. I might just go start the compressor so I can blow out any shavings. That's not a great noise for the microphone. I'm just going to mute up while we drill some holes. Just gonna unmute. So the problem I'm having is this stuff is quite hard, and I'm actually popping my drill bit through the chalk. But we'll persist. Alright, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't pretty frustrated. Let's send it. See what happens. So I'm only pouring where I've drilled holes, and we're just gonna let gravity do its work for a bit. It is seeping down the holes. Not perfectly, far from perfectly. But it's doing it. It's even enough to go again. Just got an ad coming up. I'd prefer to have been curing during an ad. But we'll see how we go. This side is half successful. The other side, the drill holes show massively. Yeah, I don't know, chat. All I can say is I'm glad I'm not doing this on a Sunday stream. With all the pressure. By the way, I'm also literally drilling through where there's wet resin now. But it's working. Okay. The air pockets have disappeared. Now I have a terrible surface. What I'm thinking is I'm gonna do a much thinner all over pour, and then we're just gonna use the torch and cure small areas at a time. Yeah, I did start this stream by saying the words, let's send it. And send it I did. Still an air pocket over here. Okay, overall, we've still got air pockets. It's better than it was. Some of the more egregious ones I might try to remove. I guess we'll live with some of it. It's cured. I say a thin layer, but to get it to run even across the whole base, I do have to just put resin down. Gonna drill some of the bigger pockets I can still see. Yeah, I don't know. I do not know. When I look close, I can see the drill holes. They're worse than the giant. Oh, no. They're better than the giant pockets. Yeah, that's dramatic. It's definitely better. I'm just frustrated. Sorry about the audio. I guess I gave up on the drilling and muting thing. I've generally given up. Okay. Let's use a toothpick because the air has obviously come from underneath the models and the features. Let's just push resin right up to the edges as much as I realistically can. this side over here is definitely sucking up and eating the resin I poured. It keeps getting lower and revealing the drill spots. So just gonna let that happen. Take my time. Not go to bed anytime soon. Alright, let's do some more targeted curing. Those pox will go in another layer, I hope. Under the station, and I'm just gonna watch closely from an angle if anything wrong starts to happen. So I think even as I'm curing, it looks better. Yeah, it's getting there. It's not great, but it's not what I'd hoped, but it's better than it was a moment ago. As it's curing, I can see the drill marks starting to reveal themselves. So I think curing is shrinking the resin and making it sink further down into those holes. So I don't know. Hopefully a good thing. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not seeing any major disasters appear. Nice rescue. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm still scared I'm not out of the woods, but I appreciate the confidence. I need it right now. Alright, all sorts of surface imperfections. They should come out in another layer, but it's less disastrous than it was before. You can see some of these drill holes cast shadows. I don't know. I don't think that's gonna be the worst overall. And the model's gonna sit on top and cover large sections. Not easy with those chemicals. Yeah, and I knew it wasn't gonna be, but I also did weeks of experimentation ready for this, and I just misjudged how much bigger this base is and how much more heat it was going to generate. I thought I was doing, for Warhammer, these are fairly large bases, but they're not Nagash 130mm bases. Coulda tested on a big boy 3D print base the same size. The bigger the harder. Yeah. We're learning that. We'll see how I like it before we glue the big boy bear down. I could also be convinced to just 3D print the plinth to put him on. Show you guys first. Still looking good. I'm pretty sure the surface is hard. A little bit tacky but hard. So another run. Really like them. Think that. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. A lot of dad in my head at this moment, so I appreciate it. As we build up, the pores will become easier to spread and therefore possibly thinner, because I don't need to work around all the skulls and stuff. So that'll lend itself towards better cures too. That's hard. One more round, just to be safe. Is not sure where the base I experimented with last night is gone. See, this is the same resin, which came out really nice. Takes courage to dare to apply the resin like that, given the fear of ruining all this hard work. uh, I I haven't been too brave. I've been putting it off for weeks for this reason. But we're finally pulling the trigger. Thank you. Alrighty. I think we can probably make another pour. And we should be able to cover the surface imperfections, those holes from the drill a bit, and also get just a smoother layer pour because there's less skulls, bits and pieces to have to work around. And that'll get better every pour as we get higher. Spread there. I see the imperfection because I know they're there. If I showed it to someone new, yes, that is absolutely true. And that's true of everything I paint. Just here, I guess because of the stress levels, I'm feeling it more. Okay, we're hiding more and more with each layer. So yeah, hopefully by the time we hit finished product, that will be very true that I'm the only one that really notices. The fumes, they can be a little bit during the curing. Uh, I did try wearing a mask one stream, but off to the side, I've got my airbrushing station and there's a fume hood running there. And the doors open, windows open off to the side. So I'm just relying more on the ventilation than a mask this time. Until you cure though, it's basically odorless. Be safe? Yeah. Actually, for the really bright UV lights, I've even got the sunglasses. But I don't think I'm gonna run the dental tools. I think they're just too aggressive. So I think we're safe for the eyewear. Alright, I have to start curing because the edges are running. I might try curing just on the edges and then let it continue to spread on the inside. That should buy me a minute. Let me work the air bubbles out at the center. That's quite a bit better. Alrighty. Curing around the edges of the models on the base with a little bit of priority. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is better. I think we're reaching something usable. A little bit of ripple on the surface. Alrighty. Let it run. I found that sword that had snapped off earlier. I've lost track now. Hopefully that's not gone forever. Ah. Set that aside, safe. Alrighty, on this paw I can see ripple forming in the top. No air bubbles, that's a win. And I can see where I didn't spread properly around the edge of this guy. That can still be rectified. We've got at least one more layer. You can see those ripples when I let it catch the light. Now, they're not the end of the world. How many layers is that? The big air bubbles were in layer 1. Fix that up. I've actually lost count. I think we're at 4. Three. Big air bubbles. The fix up, which we spent quite some time on. And then this layer, which smoothed it out a bit. Curing again. So, on the smaller bases, this is sick, and I will continue to do the resin for smaller models. I might be a bit reluctant to do it on a model this size again. That said, how many Nagashes am I going to do? I had thought doing Ursula on the same sort of base would be cool. We could just do a much smaller section of water on the Ursula base with more bank. Hey, Hobbycore, what's up? Good morning for you. How you doing? It's getting late for me. Half an hour till midnight. If I leave them to cure naturally overnight, wouldn't they be better tomorrow? Because it's UV, it's actually, and the reason I wanted to get this done tonight is to give it the day tomorrow to cure with some indirect sunlight. So it's actually that UV light from the sun that's going to help it to cure. But yes, absolutely. That's why I wanted to get some work done tonight, to leave it to sit just in the living room with some indirect light tomorrow. naturally in the sun. Yeah, it definitely cures up a bit harder than what my lights can do when I can leave it at for the day. 6:36 a.m. Getting the table ready to do the first ever build, Gundam. Hell yeah. Sick. Alright, alright. Gonna be a good day. Hope it goes well. Up bright and early for it. And yeah, the other reason I want it to have time to cure tomorrow is we're going to super glue Nagash down. I do not want that super glue to react with the resin, so I want it to be cured before we super glue the model down. Because then once he's glued down, we'll do probably one final layer of resin to lock him in and sort of tie in with the rest of the base. If necessary. We'll see what it looks like when he's glued down. Maybe it's not necessary. Right, one more round here. So, let's show it before we go another round. Looks great, looking straight down. Which honestly, you're going to be looking at the model up here. You are going to be looking mostly down at it. Almost never on those extreme angles. Or moving it just to catch the light like that. Am I going to play 11th Ed? I'll definitely get a game in at some point. I don't get a lot of games in, so it could take me a while. But yeah, no, I plan on checking it out. Yeah, apply that last coat when it goes down. That's what we experimented by throwing this grey unprimed model down. So this model went down before any pause, which I felt was riskier with Nagash, and given today's results, I'm glad that we didn't go with this. And this one was glued down after, I think, 3 layers, and then he got a layer on top of him. And he still looks like he's set in there. Any tips on going live? You like the vibe and it's chill to be here. I'm still pretty new myself. It's been about 2 months of streaming. When I started, I thought it was just I'll put a camera over my hobby desk and turn it on from time to time. And I got 2 raids in that first stream. We made partner in like a week, and I just got hooked. And I've been doing at least 2 streams a week since for the past 2 months or so. Tips, enjoy it. I'm loving it right now. Do I feel like facecam's the move? You don't have to do it straight away. I mean, you can do the VTuber thing for a while, or because the focus hobby, you can just do top down. I think facecam probably has a level of personal connection added. It's not necessary. I think when we're painting, palette cam is actually maybe more valuable than the face cam in terms of context of hobbying. Also, that said though, that I didn't plan to take this too seriously from the start and then got hooked. I'd say my advice is to do it for the hobby, not to become a big streamer. This has become part of my hobby at this point. It's just an added layer of features of the hobby. And it means my hobby time has some kind of parasocial element rather than just sitting in a room on my own. And I'm quite enjoying that. I really like having a community, talking to you guys while I hobby. Let's go layer 4. That's your biggest thing? You like the socializing? All of it's ended. Yeah. Jiu-jitsu. Pickleball. Ah, because of injuries. I see. Yeah, okay. So, this is a great hobby to transition to, I guess. Something you can most of the time be seated. If you make your way to a local hobby store and just start hanging out and talking, you'll find people you vibe with. In the meantime, things like this. Jiu-jitsu's cool though, man. I used to do judo. Ah, did judo maybe 10 years or so. Growing up. Fought a single national titles when I was 15. Before that was all too much. Us! Actually, the dude who beat me, took the gold at that national titles, was actually a jiu-jitsu guy. BJJ. And he got me in the groundwork. Way more skilled on the ground. And unfortunately, I didn't get a nip on. So it went to the ground. Ah, not unfortunately. That was a great day. He's a janitor now. Right. Now we've got a much more even surface to spread on. Really just moving that resin around. In fact, too freely. That's going to overflow. How far did Jiu-Jitsu take you? Do your injuries allow you to still hang out at club? Or is it completely over for training altogether. A wrist injury. Ah, yeah. Okay. Tough to grip up. Hmm. And pickleball, same thing, huh? Two stripe brown belt. Okay. All your peers are 2 to 3 stripe black belts. Okay. Happy for them in their journey. Love to be there. And that's it. Being happy for them. Yeah, I don't train anymore, but still got some great connections from when I was in it. Alright, because this layer is smooth and it can flow, the overflow is going to be an issue. I just set one of those rocks on fire. Let's cure the edge. Ah, happy. Sorry, man. Real focused on the resin, and I missed those ads. Seem to have done all night tonight being focused on the resin. I'm messing up again. Alright. Glad we started the night taping those edges. Definitely gonna help. Gonna swap the gloves. Time for freshies. Let's go black. Again, I can see ripples starting to form in the top. That might just be a fact of life. I don't think it's as bad as the last pull. It's not. Which begs the question, one more pull. I think this should be the last before we glue the gash down. We'll have a look. Run the curing station a couple times. See how we're looking. We'll just rotate the base. And there's definitely some heat generating, which is where those ripples are coming from. Am I Asian? Yeah. Yeah, man. Asian Australian? Chinese Australian. Chinese heritage. Filipino American. Hell yeah, dude. Went to Australia in '01. Ah, way back. I lived with a Filipino couple for a couple years. Chris America. Probably the best roommates I ever had. Shocked to see Filipinos with Aussie accents. Yeah, yeah. It's always good to see Filipinos or just Asians with the real bogan Aussie accent. Different. I was fed every day, huh? Yeah. After the third plate, they tell you eat more because you're skinny. Yeah, yep, that's about it. Even now, it's go to a Chinese restaurant, put all the food in the middle. When everyone's finished and we've ordered too much, and there's a couple plates still in the middle, it's usually me and my cousin that are expected to just finish whatever's left. Doesn't matter how full we are. Go and finish that up. Can't waste that. In your area where you're at, wish you had more Asians around you. Yeah. Wish you had some that were like you. Yeah. Yeah. That feeling of, yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm lucky in that. I'm in Cairns, Australia. There's a pretty good population of older Chinese, been here for generations, and then we're also a tourist city, so lots of lots of fresh Asians. Went to New South Wales. Okay, okay, that's a fair bit south for me, but no, love New South Wales. A huge Filipino community. Even here, there's quite a decent Filipino community. Two of the jobs I did today, Filipino customers. So yeah, yeah, pretty decent community. Boss is morning to Perth. In Perth, okay, okay. My mum and dad are at that side at the moment. They have a caravan, travel full time. So yeah, they're chilling in the west at the moment. Definitely had the most spillage on that layer, but we taped up for a reason. On the top, we look good. We've got the ripple, but this time the ripple, if I can get it to catch, is like a really nice effect. Now that's not the final layer, so that's not what we're going to see in the final layer. But that's the kind of rippling that looks natural and I would be happy with in the final layer. So that bubbling from early on, we've still got heavy bubbling back here. It is towards the back of the model, and hard on a gash will glue down, I think, in a curve like this, hiding that. I don't think most people will notice. I can see the drill holes in dark patches here. They probably just look like parts of the paint for anyone who doesn't know what they are. Yeah, a bit of air bubbling at the bank edge, which is better than when we had it further out. Kind of even might make a little bit of sense. This is much better than how I thought this was going to go with the early disaster tonight. I can live with that. We will definitely let it cure for a day before we go ahead and glue Nagash down to see how it ages. There's always the possibility that those air bubbles still spread despite how far I've gone. And if they do, I don't think there's much I can do for them anymore. So we will sit on this for a day. Let's run this to cure a few more times, and then I'll peel the tape and try and deal with this overflow on the edges. Or even, let's go before we cure too much while it's still potentially soft. Let's run a knife blade around that edge so the tape comes off clean. Just gonna put a fresh blade in though. Definitely want to know by using something sharp. Yeah, good. I can feel that what I'm cutting isn't as hard as a rock yet. There's some give to it. So doing this before more curing. I at least think probably the move. Oh my god. I just scratched the whole edge. Cool. Whatever. Nah, I shouldn't have let this queue up. Alright, let's find out if I just peel tape. Where we at? Already scratched that edge. First major deposit of resin, it rips. More scratching. Yep. Alright, I'm gonna try painting, if that's hard enough to scratch. with a sacrificial brush, some resin in on that scratch. See what happens. Compressor just came on. Well, we can disappear the scratch. There's unevenness, but we've got one more pull when we put the gash down. It's gonna deal with that unevenness, I hope. Heading off to set up stream. Awesome. Alright. Enjoy, man. Have a good stream. Take care. I'll be back on tomorrow. I'm probably gonna finish up soon tonight anyhow. But yeah, no. Take care, man. If I hop off soon, I'll come check out your stream. Later. Appreciate the words of encouragement and tips. No worries. My brain, especially, because this skull still pokes, is tempted to do another pull. We'd have to tape off again if we were going to do that. Do we do it? No. That skull will submerge when we do the Nagash pull. And the little uneven layer I just created will disappear too. We'll cure up. We're probably gonna call it here for the night. I'm just gonna run the curing station over and over. get this nice and set up. That said, don't normally run a Saturday stream. I really want to push to get Nagash done this weekend, so I'll be back tomorrow. We'll get the boy, if I'm happy with this, in the morning, glued down, set in a layer of resin, and then we'll get back into the main project. So let me just punch out on the camera. Tomorrow? Yeah, no. I'm gonna jump on tomorrow. I'm currently trying to decide what time, because we need some time for this base to sit in the sun. So later in the afternoon. Let me punch the camera out. You'll be there? Sweet. Looking forward to catching you. Well, I'm thinking night. This tomorrow? Yeah, well, for me, it is tomorrow. It's just hit 12:15, just past midnight. I think I am gonna head in to a local game tomorrow at the Warhammer store. Should be finished there. Probably by 5. So let's say 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. GMT plus 10 tomorrow. We'll jump back on. We'll get the gash on the base, if I'm happy with the base after days curing. And then we'll try and get a bit of the work on the staff done. So I'm really hoping that Sunday, the big Sunday sesh, I can commit like 8 hours to just painting the gash's head. Looks great. Do I use oils? No. Actually, I've seen a lot of shorts, people using oils, and it looks very cool, but I haven't tried them yet. Hasn't been my thing. But it's just the base, the staff, and the gash's head left. So if they're any luck, the base and the staff get done tomorrow night. At the very least, the base. And then Sunday, we can put some hours in. Whatever it takes. If I can just focus on just the head on Sunday. Then Monday, mini Monday, if there's any little touch-ups left, that'll be then. But hopefully Sunday can be the finale. We'll see how we go. Anyway, I'm gonna call it there for a night, but let's have a look at Raid. If Hobbycore has started his stream, we could raid there. Give me a second here. See you later. Thanks for sticking around tonight, Hero Fantasist. Hobbycore. Ah, video only available to subs. Alrighty, we'll find someone else to raid. Yo, let's raid Mihens. Mihens raided me my very first stream, the one that got me hooked. So, we've only got 3 viewers. We're not quite paying it back, but let's head over there. Good night all.